All right, let's talk about Derek Carr, who has gotten a lot of criticism this season. You know, he got the big contract with the Saints, and I think it's fair to say hasn't lived up to it up until this point. But at the same time, sometimes these things take time. He could get better as the season progresses, and I thought he played really well in this game against the Giants. I know it's just the Giants, I get it, but I thought he did some really nice things. For some stuff, it was just the simple stuff. Derek Carr loves his checkdowns, and he certainly, that's part of why we all thought this was kind of a good fit when it happened, right? Because, the Saints love their checkdowns, so kind of is a good fit here. This one is going to be kind of designed to get an underneath route here. Not exactly a check down, but kind of, same idea. Watch as Carr takes the snap, and you see that this underneath route does appear to be open. It's well ran by the Saints. The three receivers that were towards the offense's left doing a good job of running setup routes to try and clear out this, underneath area. Derek Carr, makes a nice throw, allows his receiver to run after the catch. Again, doesn't look like a lot because you hit an open guy, but if you forced your receiver to kind of have to slow down a little bit, then perhaps it's not working, then you're maybe not getting the first down. So to me, it still was a good play from Derek Carr, a good throw from Derek Carr, and they're able to pick up a first down. So again, you can say, do they throw checkdowns too much? Does he throw underneath too much? Again, depends on who you ask. And while it didn't work every single play, it's never going to work every single play. It worked more often than not in this game. Going over here, one thing I have to say about Carr is it seems like he just, no matter who he's playing with, no matter, because the Raiders would shuffle through receivers constantly, and it seemed like he always was able to get connections with players and get chemistry with players really well. Anytime their opponents were playing man coverage, he always seemingly knows where to put the football, not just who to give the ball to, although that's a part of it, but also where to throw it. You see this setup, and it's actually going to be the tight end, Juwan Johnson, who Carr is going to look towards on this play. It's a one-on-one matchup. Well, okay, let's see what happens. As you see, Carr is going to, step back. He throws the ball towards Johnson. And, again, is this open? Depends on who you ask, I guess. There's not a ton of separation here or anything like that. So I do think some receivers or some quarterbacks wouldn't want to make this type of throw. But Carr has always kind of been of the belief of, give your player a chance to make a play. As you see, he puts it in a catchable spot, sort of lower to where Johnson can be able to make a play. Johnson did make the catch. Really good stuff by Johnson to be able to adjust and find a way to make that play. Like something like this is another one in a different way where it's again going to be a one-on-one matchup. This time it's going to be the Rashid Shaheed, who has really maybe been their best receiver this season. Maybe that's a hot take. I don't know. Olave's great too. He's been really good though. Rashid Shaheed has really stepped up and been a key player for them. It's again a one-on-one matchup, but this time it's different. This time it's not no separation, give your receiver a chance type of play. Instead, Carr is going to take the snap. You see Shaheed gets the inside leverage, and so for Carr, it's, again, where do you put the football? Not just about do you get the completion? You should get the completion here. Your receiver is open. This should be a completion. But, where do you put the ball? Watch it be perfectly on the money to where Shaheed can run, after the catch and pick up a first down as well. It's that chemistry he has with his receivers that he seemingly just always has. It's clearly something he puts a lot of effort into, is making sure he gets on the same page with all of these players, and that's exactly what he was able to do on that one. Also going over here, it's, scheming stuff up. Something like this, what's going to happen is this is a, zone coverage play, and it's going to be Juwan Johnson once again that they're going to look towards, but in a different way than last time, where it's actually pretty clever design, I think, as both players are going to kind of start off as though they're running more towards the bottom of the screen, but then they're going to both run further over the middle. The reason why this can work is that typically the safety would take away Johnson's route. Again, Johnson, the one that I've circled in white at the end of, that's the route. Typically a safety could come in and take that away, but if you don't make it clear that that's what your route is, right when the ball is snapped, safety might go somewhere else. As you see, Carr is going to take the snap. He looks, also does a good job of looking away. I think he did that intentionally. He gets the safety, over towards the top of the screen. The safety's barely even in frame right here, and Juwan Johnson is wide open. Carr, of course, makes the throw. They're able to get a touchdown on that one. So, again, it's just good stuff. And, yeah, it's the Giants defense. I don't know. Giants defense has actually played pretty well these past few weeks. So it's not like, it's not like you're going up against Washington right now, right? I mean, Giants defense only gave up 22 to Green Bay, and, some of that was due to a turnover. Only gave up 7 to New England. I get it. It's New England. Only gave up 19 to the Commanders. I get it. It's the Commanders. And then, they did give up 49 to the Giants, or to the Cowboys the prior week. So I'm not saying they've been perfect either, but it still was impressive in my opinion. And again, sometimes it's just the simple stuff. Well, the more exciting plays are more exciting to talk about. The Giants were doing a lot of kind of this cover 3 zone blitz stuff. And so a lot of what the Saints did was just like, let's run some zone busters here. Let's have a receiver go, and this isn't even a zone buster. This is just a receiver running over the middle, which could get into a gap in coverage. It's A.T. Perry, which, I really liked him coming out of college. I don't know why he fell to the 6th round, but if they could get him going, that would be huge. As you see, Carr is going to run a play action. He fires over the middle. The players who are covering over the middle are way out of position at this point, and you have a good opportunity. As you see, Carr puts it, on the money. You could argue a little bit behind, but I wouldn't. It's maybe a hair behind, but whatever. Good throw from Carr, running the offense, making the play work. So, what do we learn from all this? I mean, for one thing, this was a huge week for the Saints. While, yes, I'm sure they would have loved it if the Buccaneers lost this week. You can't get everything you want. And with the Falcons losing, the Saints are in a very, I think, interesting position. They're currently 7-7, and they have 3 competitive games, I would say. They play the Rams, they play the Buccaneers, and they play the Falcons to end the season in that order. So, they win all 3 of those games, they're in. And you don't have to win all 3 of those games. In fact, if you lose against the Rams, but win the next 2, you're guaranteed to be in at this point. So you have to feel good about that if you're New Orleans. Now, there's still still plenty of work that needs to be done, for sure. But at the same time, I think, to me, what would get me excited if I was a Saints fan is less about all of that and more about just they look better right now. Because, part of the thing is, hey, like, what good does it do if you get into the playoffs and get knocked out round 1? I mean, it's fun to make the playoffs, right? You could argue that there's still some good. I would say there is still some good there. But, just thinking like, okay, if you go to the playoffs and get, just destroyed once you get there, not the ideal scenario. Well, now it's looking like this is an offense that maybe can have some life. And the defense has played pretty well all year, I would say. I mean, I wouldn't say every week it's been great, but that's the NFL. You're going to have, good and bad weeks. If the offense can start playing consistent football, which it's starting to do, even though maybe the point totals don't show it to me, it's looking good. Carr is looking really good. That is potentially how the New Orleans Saints can find a way to, not just make the playoffs, but actually maybe cause an upset or something. So, interesting stuff there. But yeah, those are my thoughts with all of this. What do you think about Carr and the Saints? Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.